Hello everybody and welcome to the Creatrix YouTube channel. I welcome you all in a fresh session of analog electronics. And my dear friends, when I say we are going to learn analog electronics from the very basic, I mean it. We will be learning from the very basic level to the very advanced level along with a lots and lots of questions. So before we do that, let me first introduce myself for my friend who is meeting me for the first time. My dear friends, my name is Ankit Goyal. I got AIR1 twice in GATE in 2014 and 2018. I was awarded the President of India Gold Medal in the year 2013 when I graduated from IIT Indore. Till date, I have trained more than 1 lakh students in the online and the offline classes and presently working as a director at an academy for GATE department. But my dear friends, the reason behind this series is because of the huge demand of analog electronics and the belief that whenever you ask for anything, we are there to deliver. Yes, my dear friends, we are here for you. We are here delivering for you. And when we say it, we'll support you to the very fullest level. And this series will help you crack GATE with the top rank. It will enable EC student to get 12 out of 12 and 5 out of 5 for electrical students. So my dear friends, if you want to learn with us live, then you can join an academy using the code AnkitESE to get an immediate 10% discount. And not only, my dear friend, 10% discount, it also brings you under my guidance so that I can help you do something that I have done. I can at least take you near to this goal. Okay. So if you also dream the same thing, then join me in this journey on an academy subscription using the code AnkitESE. Now, my dear friend, if you like the content that I deliver, you can watch more of my free videos on this URL, tinyurl.com/AnkitESE. Here you will find all my videos arranged subject-wise, chapter-wise, and you will find great content for free. And you are definitely going to love it. You are definitely going to enjoy. It not only includes conceptual videos, but it also includes problem-solving sessions. So just visit this once and you will fall in love with this URL. Don't forget it. It is a lifeline for you. And if you love the content that we are delivering on YouTube, we have created the first ever video book for you guys, where you will find all the videos along with all the notes that we provide arranged subject wise, chapter wise. So now, my dear friends, your dreams are no longer dreams. They are becoming a reality because you are getting a top quality course, well arranged, well structured, and that too for free. So what can be better than that? What can be better than that? Nothing, my dear friends. So we have empowered the dreams of those who earlier used to think that only the person with a huge amount of money can crack GATE with a top rank. No, my dear friends, that is not the case. Even you can do. Even you can do it. But yes, just you need to believe in yourself and visit this link. But remember, this is a case sensitive link, so write this in uppercase. Other than that, if you join plus subscription, you get all the top educators like me teaching you live in daily lectures, along with providing you daily practice paper, weekly quiz, test series, previous year question, practice question, crash course, rank improvement batch, and most importantly, clearing your each and every doubt. So if you join plus subscription, it is an entire world inside it. So you don't have to look outside. Once you enter plus, every need of yours will be taken care of, and we will make your journey as smooth as possible towards that destination of getting under 100, under 10 rank. Believe me, my friend, you leave that strategy part to us. You leave the content part to us. You just work hard and we will make sure that you obtain the top rank in GATE and ESE. And Iconic is a big brother of Plus. Yes, this is a little brother. So Iconic gives you everything that a Plus subscription gives, along with much more. The major part of Iconic is this personal coach, a person dedicated to you on a daily basis to get you the top rank, guiding you, getting your schedule design, making your strategy. Everything that you need to get the top rank is being done by this personal coach. He'll also create a study planner for you, which you can follow blindly and reach your destination with utmost ease. They will be analyzing your test result and tell you where you are lacking, how you can improve. So that way, my dear friend, everybody else will get a standard analysis, but you will get an analysis just tailor-made for you. Along with it, we have included study material additionally, theory and question bank, and soon we'll be introducing interview guidance into this. So this will become a complete package for a student who wants to take that journey from being an average student to sitting into a PSU or a MTech seat. So for them, this journey will be just like driving a Lamborghini to work. So that sort of a experience, that sort of a royal experience we are going to give you. So let's move on to the lecture, and if you want to join Unacademy, just make sure you use the code AnkitESE to get my guidance as well as to get 10% over and above whatever Unacademy offers you. So now let's move on to the lecture, dear friends, and let's see what we have in store for.
Hi guys, in the previous lecture we discussed the concept of half wave rectifier, and there I derived certain parameters for you in a half wave rectifier. First of all, what I told you, in a half wave rectifier, the output voltage only consists of the positive cycle and the other negative cycle is made 0. So only half of the total input waveform is passed to the output. That is why it was called as half wave rectifier. Then we saw that average output voltage is coming out to be Vm by pi. We saw that the RMS output voltage was Vm by 2. We saw that the form factor was pi by 2. Voltage ripple factor was under root pi square by 4 minus 1, which was coming out to be 1.21. We saw that rectification efficiency, which is the ratio of the DC power to the total power. DC power means average component. It was coming out to be 40.56%. And I defined transformer utilization factor for you also. That is the useful power or the DC power by kVA rating. It was coming out to be 0.286. Okay. So these parameters we had derived for the case of half wave rectifier. Now in this lecture we will talk about the full wave rectifier, that is a rectifier which will also work for the negative cycle of the supply, and it will rectify both positive and the negative cycle. So this is the schematic of a full wave rectifier. Now if you see, this transformer is called as a center tapped transformer. Why center tapped? Center tapped means we have connected the load at the midpoint of the winding, or we are tapping the winding at the midpoint or the center. Now instead of one diode, we have two diodes, that is D1 and the diode D2. Okay. So we have two such diodes in this full wave rectifier. Now this diode has a turns ratio of 1:2. So if this is the supply voltage, this voltage will also be supply voltage, and this voltage will also be supply voltage. So the supply voltage is becoming double when we are going towards secondary. Now if you see, the positive terminal of the supply voltage is connected to anode and negative terminal is connected to cathode by means of resistance. Here negative terminal is connected to anode and positive terminal is connected to cathode. So I will say, when Vs is positive, the positive terminal connected to anode and negative terminal connected to cathode, so it will forward bias D1. Like in previous case, what I will do is, I will replace D1 by a resistance and this winding by the source voltage Vs. Okay. So like this. Then the lower also by the source voltage, but since source voltage is positive, this diode gets reverse biased. Okay. This voltage is V0. This is RF. RL, and this voltage is diode voltage VD. Now if you see, in the lower loop the diode is open, so there will be no current flow. So if I want to find out V0, what I'll say, Vs RL by RL plus RF. So I am applying potential divider Why I am applying potential divider? Because this RF and RL are in series. So it is Vm RL by RL plus RF sine of omega t. That will be the value of V naught. Now, if you want to find the voltage VD1, VD1 again by potential division I can say Vs RF by RF plus RL, which means Vm RF by RF plus RL sine of omega t. Now if you want to find out VD2, for VD2 I will apply KVL. How I will apply KVL? Along the outer loop. Okay, like this. So first I will go plus 2Vs minus VD1 plus VD2 equal to 0. So VD2 is VD1 minus 2Vs. VD1 is how much? Vs RF by RF plus RL minus 2Vs. Now if you say if RF is much less than RL, if RF is very small, you can ignore the first term. So VD2 is approximately minus 2Vs. That is minus 2 times the supply voltage. Similarly, we will take the case when Vs is negative. When Vs is negative, I told you there are two voltages here. This is Vs and this is also Vs. Now when Vs is negative, the polarity will reverse. The polarity will reverse. Now see, negative terminal connected to anode, positive connected to cathode. This will become reverse bias. Positive connected to anode, negative connected to cathode. This will become forward bias. So I'll say D2 becomes forward bias. Now again I will draw the circuit in which I will replace the winding with the voltage source Vs. Okay. Now this is our resistance RL. This diode is open circuited and this diode will be replaced by a resistance RF. Okay. So now if you want to find out about V naught, this voltage will be VD2. This voltage will be VD1. This will be VD2. Now if you see, there will be current I like this. What will be this I? Vs by RL plus RF. Okay. In that case, how I is flowing? I is flowing like this. So V naught, since current should go from plus to minus, V naught will be negative I into RL. Because based on current direction, the plus minus terminal should be opposite. So that is why I will use a minus sign. So minus Vs RL by RL plus RF. Or you can say V naught is minus VMRL by RL plus RF sine of omega t. That will be the value of V naught. Okay. Now if you see, Vs is negative and we are getting a minus sign, that means minus minus will be plus. So this will be greater than 0. What about then VD2? Again current is flowing like this. So the polarity is opposite, minus I into RF. So minus Vm RF by RF plus RL sine omega t. This will also be positive. What about VD1? For VD1 what I'll have to do is I'll have to apply KVL on the outer loop like this. So again I will write 2Vs minus VD1 plus VD2 equal to 0. So VD1 is 2Vs plus VD2. So I will say VD1 is 2Vs minus Vs Rf by Rf plus RL. Again, if you assume Rf is much less than RL, that is, we are ignoring Rf, then VD1 will be 2Vs. This will be negative because Vs is less than 0. That means D1 is reverse bias. In the previous case, VD2 was minus 2Vs. This will also be negative because Vs was positive. That means D2 is reverse bias. So in the first case, D2 was reverse bias. In the second case, D1 was reverse bias. Based on all this information, we can draw the output waveform. So first I will draw the supply signal. Supply signal will have maximum voltage of Vm and it is purely sinusoidal. Now we know when Vs is greater than 0, V0 is Vm RL by RL plus RF sin omega t, or you can say supply voltage into RL by RL plus RF. If RF is much less than RL, then V0 is simply approximately equal to Vs. Then we saw when Vs is less than 0, V0 was minus Vs RL by RL plus RF, which is approximately minus Vs. See, when Vs is positive, V0 is same as Vs, same sinusoidal curve. But when Vs is negative, that is in the negative half cycle, it is minus Vs. Negative multiplied by negative waveform is positive. So it will again be positive. Then again, when Vs is positive, it will be same as Vs, that is positive. When negative, it will be minus Vs. So this is minus Vs, Vs, minus Vs, Vs. So that will be the output voltage and the current. Okay. So divide it by RL also. This is talking about the current. The second waveform is current. So it is voltage by resistance. Similarly, you see V0 waveform is same as the current because V0 is always I0 into RL. What about diode voltage? Diode voltage, if you see in the first case, the diode voltage was similar to the sinusoidal curve, or you can say Vs into Rf by Rf plus RL. So in the positive half cycle, it will follow the sinusoidal curve like this. Okay. But its peak value will be Im into Rf. If you are unable to read, this is Im into Rf, which is very small. And during the negative half cycle, the peak value is minus 2 Vm. Why minus 2 Vm? Because the voltage was coming out to be here in the negative cycle. If you see 2 Vs, that is twice the supply voltage. If supply voltage is going up to minus Vm, then twice the supply voltage will go up to minus 2 Vm. And again in the positive cycle, the peak value will be Im Rf. Similarly, if we talk about VD2, in the positive cycle, we derived VD2 was minus 2 Vs. Minus 2 Vs means if Vs is going up to Vm, minus 2 Vs will go up to minus 2 Vm. In the negative cycle, we derived minus I into Rf. Since I was positive, minus I into Rf, basically, or you can say VD2 was in this interval minus Vs Rf by RL plus Rf. Okay. Since Vs was negative, what happens? Minus Vs into Rf by Rf plus RL is greater than 0. Okay. But due to small Rf, this peak is very small. Why it is small? Because Rf is small. Since Vs is negative, minus Vs is positive. Then again, during positive cycle it will be minus 2 Vm. Now if you see the waveform of diode voltage 1 and diode voltage 2, you will see that in the negative they are touching up to minus 2 Vm. So what I can say, the maximum negative voltage is 2 Vm, that is the peak inverse voltage is 2 Vm. So the maximum negative voltage is also called as the peak inverse voltage. Now like the previous case of half wave rectifier, we will derive the average and the RMS output voltage. So now if you see, the output voltage is like this. Okay. So based on this waveform, what you can say? The period of waveform is pi. If the period of waveform is pi, when I talk about average, we will divide by the period. Period will be pi. In 0 to pi, V naught d omega t. Now we know in 0 to pi, V naught was same as the supply voltage, but with potential division. The supply voltage was Vm sin omega t. So I will take Vm and this constant term outside. What will remain inside is sin omega t. Now this whole term Vm into RL by RL plus RF will be written as Vm naught. Integration of sine will be minus cos omega t 0 to pi. So if you put the limits 1 minus minus 1, that is 2 Vm naught by pi. Okay, that will be the V naught average. Now if you say that RF is much less than RL, this diode forward resistance is much smaller, then Vm naught is approximately equal to Vm. In that case, the V naught average value will come out to be 2 Vm by pi. So that is 2 times the value obtained for a half wave rectifier. That you can also understand because now the negative cycle is also coming out to be positive. So the area of the waveform becomes double. In half wave rectifier we were only getting one pulse, but here we are getting two pulses. So the average value will also double. Okay. Now when we talk about RMS, in RMS, what is the formula that we use? 1 by pi integration from 0 to pi V naught square d omega t. Now V naught was from 0 to pi Vm naught sin omega t whole square d omega t. Now this Vm naught square can be taken outside, it will become Vm naught. Then 1 by pi sin square omega t can be written as 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2 d omega t. Now this 2 can be clubbed with this pi, 1 by 2 pi. Integration of 1 is omega t, integration of cos 2 omega t sin 2 omega t by 2. Now when you put the limits in this integration, in omega t we put pi, then sin 2 pi by 2, then we put 0 plus sin 2 into 0 by 2. Sin 2 pi and sin 0 are 0. So this pi will cancel 2 pi, we will get Vm naught by root 2. Vm naught is how much? Vm Rf by Rf plus RL. Again if you say Rf is much smaller than RL, this is actually RL, then V naught RMS will become simply Vm by root 2. Vm by root 2 is also the value of supply RMS voltage, because the supply voltage is Vm sin omega t. So the RMS value is Vm by root 2. So here the RMS value of output voltage is same as the supply voltage, and the average voltage becomes double as compared to your half wave rectifier. So that is the major difference between half wave and the full wave rectifier. Now again we will derive the rectification efficiency. What I told you about rectification efficiency? It is the DC power in the output divided by total power. Now DC power is always computed using average value, and AC power is always computed using, or the total power is always computed using RMS value. Now V0 average we just now derived, it was 2 Vm by pi. I0 average would be 2 Vm by pi RL. V0 RMS was, just now we saw Vm by root 2. I0 RMS would be Vm by root 2 RL. That is V0 RMS by RL. So this RL gets cancelled, Vm gets cancelled. So it is 4 into 2 by pi square into 100%. That is 8 by pi square into 100%. So it will be 81.05%. That is 2 times the efficiency of half wave rectifier. So the efficiency is doubled, which means out of total power, 81% of the power is contributed by your DC value or the DC component. And that is major advantage of full wave rectifier over half wave rectifier. The next parameter what we will derive? Transformer utilization factor. So transformer utilization factor is basically how efficiently is the transformer kVA rating utilized by the rectifier. But now here this factor is not so simple as in a half wave rectifier. Why? What is the major difference? See, when I told you about the circuit of this full wave rectifier, what did I tell you? That secondary winding was divided into two halves, like this. Okay. So this half was working in positive cycle. This half was working in negative cycle. That means both the halves were not working together. So the ratio was 1:2. That means if there are n turns, there are 2n turns on the secondary side. If there are 2n turns on the secondary side, only n turns are working in positive cycle and the other n turns are working in negative cycle. So on the secondary side, if you see, the entire secondary winding does not work simultaneously, they work separately. But the primary winding will work even if the first half of the secondary works or the second half of the secondary works. That means the primary winding will work in positive as well as negative cycle, but in secondary winding, the upper half will work in the positive cycle and the lower half will work in the negative cycle. Both do not work together, but the entire primary winding is working in the both the positive and the negative half cycle. So that is why here we calculate primary and secondary TUF separately. So we will calculate two transformer utilization factor, one for primary and other for secondary. Then we will say TUF of the entire transformer will be average of the two, primary plus secondary by 2. Are you getting my point? Why they are different? Because here secondary winding only one half is working at a time, whereas the entire primary winding is working for the total cycle. Now when we talk about TUF of secondary, first of all, when we talk about TUF of secondary, it is V0 average, that is the DC power, I0 average. Okay. Then when you talk about the kVA rating of transformer, the kVA rating, the voltage rating is how much? The voltage rating of secondary side is 2 Vs. So 2 Vs RMS. What about current rating? In current rating, I told only one half is working at a time. Like this. This other half will work in the negative cycle. So current only conducts for one cycle. If current only conducts for one cycle, what is the RMS value? It is same as the half wave rectifier, Im by 2. Are you getting my point? Current in any winding, current in any half of the secondary winding only exists for half cycle, not for the complete cycle, just like a half wave rectifier. In half wave rectifier also the current was existing for half cycle and not the full cycle. So here V0 average was how much? 2 Vm by pi. I0 average is how much? 2 Vm by pi RL. What about 2 Vs RMS? Vs RMS is Vm by root 2. Im is how much? Vm. Im by 2 is there. Vm by 2 RL. So this 2 gets cancelled. Vm gets cancelled. RL gets cancelled. So 4 root 2 by pi square. Okay, that will come out to be the value. Are you getting my point? 1 minute, let me check. Im by 2. Basically, it will be Im by 2 root 2. Okay. So it will be 8 by pi square. 8 by pi square. So how much will this come out to be? Just like in efficiency, 0.8105. Okay. What about TUF of primary? Primary winding is just like a half wave rectifier, but now it is working in both the cycles. It is working in negative as well as the positive cycle. So we will say 2 times transformer utilization factor of half wave rectifier. So primary is working like 2 half wave rectifiers working together. So it was 0.286. So it will come out to be 0.572. Now overall TUF is average of these two. So average will come out to be 0.69. Okay. So remember this concept. What I have done here, I have calculated the TUF of primary and secondary winding separately, and then we have calculated the overall TUF as the average of the two quantities, that is primary and the secondary winding. Okay. Next, let us calculate the ripple factor. For ripple factor, we will first need form factor. Form factor was how much? V0 RMS by V0 average. V0 RMS was Vm by root 2. V0 average was 2 Vm by pi. So it will come out to be pi by 2 root 2. What about voltage ripple factor? I told you it is under root form factor square minus 1 under root pi square by 8 minus 1. So it will come out to be, how much will this ripple factor come out to be if we substitute these values in the calculator? 0.48. I told you it is nothing but the ratio of RMS value of harmonic voltage and the average voltage, that is harmonic by DC. Since this is less than 1, it means DC value is greater than harmonics. In half wave rectifier, it was 1.21, which means harmonics were more dominant than the desirable or the DC term, but here DC is more dominant than the harmonics. That is why ripple factor is less than 1. So this is a desirable quantity, that is the ripple factor should always be less than 1. Now what are the advantages and disadvantages? If we talk about advantages, first of all, voltage ripple factor reduces. Second, efficiency increases. Third, transformer utilization factor increases. Okay. So all the three things are in our favor. What about disadvantage? Two diodes are required. In half wave rectifier, only one diode was required. Here, two diodes are required. Second, center tapped transformer is required. Third, in previous case, PIV was VM. Here, PIV is 2 VM. Now, PIV is the maximum negative voltage across the diode. We know that if we apply high negative voltage, then diode can break down. So we are saying that the maximum negative voltage that is appearing is 2 VM. This should always be less than the reverse breakdown voltage of diode. So you have to choose a diode whose reverse breakdown capability is more than PIV, otherwise the diode may break down. So now since PIV is increasing, we have to choose a diode of higher breakdown voltage. If you take a diode having higher breakdown voltage, the cost of diode will also increase. Remember always, the breakdown capability of diode should be more than PIV, otherwise at large negative voltage the diode will break down. So now if we summarize the discussion, what we have derived in this case, we derived the average output as 2 Vm by pi, RMS output as Vm by root 2, efficiency as 81.05%, TUF as 0.69. Then other than this, we derived form factor as pi by 2 root 2, voltage ripple factor as 0.48. Okay, and PIV is 2 Vm. So these all parameters exist for the case of center tapped full wave rectifier, that is the full wave rectifier which employs a center tapped transformer. Okay, so these things you need not remember, but you always have to remember the average output voltage of a rectifier. Okay, so this will be all from this lecture. In the next one, we'll talk about another type of full wave rectifier which is called as the bridge rectifier. That we'll cover in the next video.
I hope all of you have enjoyed the lecture that we were providing and all of you learned something very, very good. Now is the time to learn about the Unacademy subscription. So as I told the benefits of the Plus subscription at the very beginning, let's go through them very, very quickly. Live classes you get by the top educators, crash course, rank improvement batch, doubt clearing, weekly quiz, test series, previous year question, practice question, everything in one subscription called as Unacademy Plus. And Iconic is one level higher. It provides you a personal coach who will mentor you on a daily basis, who will guide you on a daily basis, along with providing you study planner, test analysis, study material, and soon enough, interview guidance. So if you are looking to join Unacademy, let's see what are the pricing. So my dear friends, before we see the pricing, just see the link. This link will help you crack GATE and ESE with the top rank, because we have created the first ever video book for GATE and ESE for my YouTube family, and you will get the notes as well as the lectures here. Just make sure that you write this link in the uppercase and you will get to the first ever video book for GATE and ESE, and it is nothing but revolutionary. Now let's see the pricing of Plus subscription. So for 12 months the pricing is 3250, but if you apply the code Ankit ESE, it becomes 27225. For 18 months it will be 34650, and for 24 months 39600. Believe me my dear friend, this is the most affordable pricing, and the longer duration subscriptions are more cost effective as compared to shorter duration. Like here it will cost you 1650 per month. Okay, this will be 2000 per month approx. This will be around 2250 per month. Then if you go for Iconic for 12 months, it is 5250. With code Ankit ESE it becomes 45225, and 2-year subscription becomes 66600. So the choice is yours, but take a longer duration subscription for more cost effective solution and to give GATE and ESE at least 2 times, so that if you once crack GATE, in the next attempt you can even get ESE. And other than that, my friends, you can download the Unacademy Learning app right now, because there we provide live classes for free, test series, and live quizzes for free. And once you download it, make sure that you follow this profile. This is my profile, so that whenever I come live, you will get the notification. And this is the Telegram channel for our team. Here you will find all the lecture links, all the lecture files, and all the links for the special classes. Other than that, my friend, my personal Telegram channel also you can join, t.me/gateair1. Here you can get in touch with me and we can take this journey together. Okay. Other than that, we have other YouTube channels like Mechanical, Civil, and Telugu, JEE channel, Computer Science, Gate Question, and Electrical Junction, Pathshala, and GS Terminal. Electrical Junction contains short videos of great concepts. Pathshala provides you animated content. JEE preparation can be done through these two channels, Unacademy SSC JEE and GS Terminal. And you can refer the other channels to the other friends in respective branches, so that they can also be benefited. At last, I would like to say, please share, like, and subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel, and not only subscribe, press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever a new video comes. And share these videos among all your college group, among all your friends, so that we can create the first ever revolution of free education in field of GATE and ESE. Thank you to everybody for dedicating time to watching this video. Please move on to the next one as well, and take the benefit of all the free content that we are providing. And in case you have completed the series, do make sure you watch the other subjects available on this channel. Thank you.